This is Tom Colley for ThroughTheRopes Boxing. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined today with none other than the former British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion and two-time prizefighter champion, Michael Sprott. Michael, thank you for taking the time to coming on and speaking to ThroughTheRopes.
No, thank you for having me on your live. Yeah, thank you.
No problem at all. So, Michael, I just wanted to dive straight in. I mean, there's a lot going on in the heavyweight division at the moment, but I wanted to start by just talking to you a bit about your career. I mean, 71 professional fights is a hell of a career. You went in there with everyone. How's life been after boxing? I think you retired in 2018, if I'm right.
Well, to be fair, I never retired. I just didn't have any more fights. I mean, I'm looking to have maybe a couple more fights. I would like to say, but if that happened, that happened. But yeah, I never officially retired.
Oh, okay. So you're still open and up for a fight if the right one comes along for you then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What was it? Just sort of COVID that put a bit of a stall on things, or?
No, I mean, I had a fight in Poland. I forgot the guy's name. The one who Colley stopped in the first round, and just it's nothing. I was trying to get fast, but nothing really happened. So I kept fit, but nothing. I'm just in the background at the moment. Yeah.
How did you get into boxing in the first place, Michael? Is it something you always wanted to do, or is it something you just sort of came into?
I got into boxing when I was about 8. I mean, my dad used to watch lots of Muhammad Ali and stuff like that, and I took an interest in it. I was up shadow boxing, watching it, and spent a lot of time watching boxing with my dad. And my dad was like, "Well, you know what? Do you want me to box when I was about 8?" But my mum said no. Obviously, she worked about a child, so I worked till I was 13, and then I started down. My dad took me to a club in Reading Boxing Club, but it was a kickboxing night. I did that for a little while. And then my friend, a school friend of mine, my mate Simon, he said, "Oh, I know a club in Woodley called the Bournemouth Boxing Club." So me and my mates all went down there, and then it took off from there. And then I was literally the only one out of my mates who carried on going, because obviously it's something that I was passionate about.
Did you have a long amateur career, or did you go have a few and go straight into the pro game?
I had a bit of a long amateur career. They say I had a quite amateur career, but I had at least 60 plus fights as amateur, and I entered ABAs like 4 times. ABAs like 4 attempts. Yeah.
How far did you think you could go when you first turned over? Did you see yourself winning British titles? Did you see yourself winning prizes like Prizefighter, or was it just sort of going or was it world titles? What were your aspirations when you first turned over pro?
Well, as a professional fighter, as a boxer's dream, you always want to be a world champion. And I saw myself being a champion. I'm not sure what a champion, but I always wanted to be a world champion. Obviously, I won the British Commonwealth, the EU Union, European, and I just came winning titles. So I fought for even a world title eliminator. So that's as far as I got. I mean, I'm really and truly, I believe I should have been a world champion, 100%.
I mean, what an unbelievable feat it is to win a British and Commonwealth title, and it's such a prestigious title to win. And like the career that you've had, you've been in there with like everyone of your time. Who was the best fighter? I mean, you had was it a trilogy you had with Matt Skelton? I mean, I remember I'm 26, so I think when I was about 14, I watched you fight Skelton. Was it in the Prizefighter final? Was that 2013?
I believe so. Yeah.
So I think you had a trilogy with Skelton. I mean, they were great fights. You fought Audley Harrison twice, I think, did you? And
I fought Audley Harrison twice. I always thought there'd be a third fight, just set a lit, but it never came across.
It was one of these.
Hey?
It was 1-1 with you and Audley, I think, was it?
It was 1-1, 1-1.
And in the second part, I think you were sort of on top for virtually the whole 12 rounds, and Audley could hit really hard. He caught you the big shot, and it was like you were on your way to winning that, I think, in the second fight, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, but with heavyweight boxing, just
of course,
a split second of a lack of concentration, and it's all over. Yeah.
Who was the best fighter that you shared the ring with, Michael? I mean, you were in there with Anthony Joshua, Pulev, Chagaev, Carlos Takam. Who would you say was the best fighter that you fought in your career?
Out of 71 fights, it's quite hard. I mean, I fought a lot of good fighters. Pulev is probably skillfulest, maybe out of them all, maybe. Chagaev was tough. Takam was tough. But it's hard to say. I've had quite a few tough fights, but you know, when it comes to the hardest puncher, it has to be Corey Sanders, the South African.
Corey Sanders knocked out Klitschko, didn't he, Wladimir?
Yeah. I think he beat me. Then he fought one person. Then he fought Klitschko.
Yeah.
But
He could hit.
He was. I was like, wow. I asked Klitschko when I was at the Klitschko camp. We was all sitting there and having. We was watching boxing in like a little cinema room, and I said to him, "What do you think of Corey Sanders' power?" And he did some. He's went, "Wow." So he must have the same experience.
Is that what Klitschko said to you?
This is what Vitali said this.
Yeah.
And then obviously Vladimir's like, well, they put me with this guy called Corey Sanders. I didn't know much about him. I thought, just some guy. And he said, yeah, he just done me over. Yeah.
What was it like being involved in the Klitschko camp? I watched Dave Allen talking recently about his different sparring experiences going over to be a sparring partner for Usyk and he again with Wladimir Klitschko as well. What was it like being part of that camp? I guess that was when Wladimir was at the top outward, both of them, Wladimir and Vitali. Were you treated well? Was it an enjoyable thing?
Oh, it was obviously the best camp I've had in my whole career. I've been to Lennox Lewis camps. I've been obviously camps in Germany. I've been camps in Germany as well. Sauerland and what's the other one called? Sauerland. I forgot what everyone's called. But yeah. Klitschko was the best. They looked after you. But with Vitali's camp, it's not so strict sort of thing. But Vladimir's is quite strict. He wants everyone downstairs in the gym 7 o'clock training. He said because he wants the best of the best. And if you're late, he would deduct you of your wages. So
really,
yeah. And obviously, if you don't mind you going out or having maybe a couple of drinks, but if you're getting drunk and you're coming there smell alcohol, then he sends you back home. He sends people back home. So
keeps things really professional, does it?
Yeah, and he's got people watching. He's got people there like spies or watching, just making sure everyone's behaving themselves.
Really?
And yeah. His camp is quite strict.
Did you see anything when you're in those camps or any funny stories?
I see Jamal. Well, obviously Jamal Miller.
Yeah.
Jamal Miller and I've got the cruiserweight. Who was the cruiserweight who knocked out Machiavelli?
I don't. You're testing my boxing knowledge there, Michael. I don't actually.
There's a cruiserweight. He came over and he was part of the German camp, but I think he's not German, but yeah, he knocked out Klitschko. I mean, not Klitschko, knocked out Machiavelli. He knocked him out quite bad.
Yeah.
I've got Ola something.
Right.
But yeah, him and Jamal Miller were just going at it, literally cussing every day, morning, lunch, breakfast, all throughout the camp. And they're sparring. It's like, I'm gonna get better with you, and it was crazy.
Was that friendly or a bit of beef they had going on at the time?
It was a bit of fun, bit of beef, but
yeah,
it was crazy. And then obviously there was I've seen crazy things like Wladimir was sparring. Yeah, he's good mates with Jonathan Banks. He became his trainer, but one time we were sparring, and Wladimir Jonathan Banks was first.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wladimir was acting a bit funny this day. I don't know what's going on in his head, but he got into a clinch, and he headbutted Jonathan Banks. He pushed him on the floor. He kind of kicked him. So I was like, everyone's like, what are you doing? So Jonathan Banks got up because, what's this about, man? What are you doing? and you know, he said something in a mood, and I thought, and they said, "I'm next." I said, "Mate, he's not." I said, "Tell you this now, he ain't doing that to me." I'm not putting out that. It kick off. But yeah, I sparred him. He was right after that. But yeah, I just there's all manner of things happening in camps, and there's many stories. It's crazy.
You fought everyone in your career, Michael. Is there any one fighter that you didn't get a chance to fight that you wish you could have?
Well, probably the top 10, maybe the world champion. But I've never really, I don't know really. I've never really like wanted to fight someone. It's just if the fight's coming to me, I'll just take it. You know?
Yeah, there was no one in particular that you wish you could have. How good was Anthony Joshua when you fought him? You fought him fair few years ago now, and he's sort of on his way up. How good did you think he was at the time? Did you believe after you fought him he was going to go all the way?
Oh, bro, listen, he's an Olympian. You know, he's you know, you as an Olympian, you're not going to throw him straight down deep, and you're going to get him fights that they should win just to build him up. He's going, and obviously when Joshua was fighting named fighters, but they're past their best. So I mean, even me when he fought me, I was past my best, but you know, when I fought him without much notice, the boxing training wasn't. No one really like put the effort into training me because my trainer was like, "Well, Jim Evans said, Mike, end of the day, it's a payday. He's new kid on the block, blah blah," and that was it really. I had a good strength conditioner, and so it was when I went to fighting him. Listen, I knew he was good. I knew he was a powerful athlete, and I knew that. So, I just wish I had more time to train. But yeah, I might have lasted a bit longer, but I knew he was after not just being me, but I just knew he was going to go all the way. I knew that he was a good talent. Yeah,
We've got a big fight with him and Daniel Dubois coming up. That's a dangerous fight, interesting British heavyweight clash. How do you see that unfolding, Michael? And do you think that AJ is the same fighter? Is he getting that spike back, or do you think that sort of he's lost a bit of that edge he had before?
I think he's getting his spark back. I think he's getting his confidence back as well. After Andrew Riaz, I think before Andrew Riaz, something happened in training. From what I've heard, something happened in training. He got caught in sparring and something like that. But sparring in the day. What matters is the fight. But yeah, so obviously when he fought Andrew Riaz, I mean, yeah, he wasn't the same after that for a little while. He was a bit on edge. The rematch, he had to stay away from him because obviously if he mixed it up, it's something would happen again. But since he's been with is it Ben Davison?
Yeah,
Yeah, his confidence has come back. He's come back, but I think Daniel Dubois will give him a tough fight.
Yeah,
I think I can see Joshua winning it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dubois beats him. Would not be surprised.
Do you think? If we get first of all, do you think we'll get the Fury Joshua fight eventually? Is that a fight you'd want to see? I think everyone does, and if we do, I mean, I should probably start by asking you, obviously, about the Fury Usyk rematch. How do you see it unfolding? Do you think Fury can come back and win that fight?
It's a tough call. It's a tough call. I mean, you know, I knew Usyk. I said when someone asked me the same question just about the first fight, I said Usyk would beat Fury. I said, he would knock out Usyk. Okay, let me tell you this now. If Anthony Joshua, who's a bigger puncher than Fury, can't knock out Usyk, what do you think Tyson Fury's going to do? It's going to get points. I said, it's going to get points, and Usyk's going to win, and that's what happened. And in rematch, can Tyson Fury do it? I don't know. I've got my doubts. I think Usyk does it again for me. I mean, there was parts in that fight where Tyson Fury hurt Usyk, and I thought he would have gone for it and probably try and stop him, but I don't know. It's a huge ass. He's got to be a bit lighter than what he is, I think. And yeah, he's got to be on. He can't be showboating. That showboating, he's got to get rid of that. That's what I think. That's what messed him up as well. But can he do it? Anything's possible. But I'm kind of edging towards Usyk as a point to win the game.
I think, I mean, me personally, I think win, lose, or draw for Tyson and Anthony Joshua. I think that there's still going to be a lot of clamour for them two to fight, and it's been like they're similar age and they've sort of gone through their whole careers as rivals. If we do see that fight, Michael, how do you see that unfolding between those two? They probably sort of led the British heavyweight scene for the last
10. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury?
Yeah, if we eventually get that fight, who do you think actually wins that?
Well, you know what? It's at first, before Usyk fight, before any of that, I had Tyson Fury to stop Joshua. Obviously, Joshua was still a bit on the rocks, you know, but confident, wasn't all there. But now I've seen, obviously what Joshua's doing now, and how Tyson looked against the Garnu and Usyk. I mean, I can see Joshua winning it. I think I can see him winning it. I mean, it all depends on Tyson. What shape he comes in, how he is mentally. I mean, if he comes in like he normally does, he could beat Joshua. But I don't know. I've got leaning towards Joshua to beat Fury.
We saw. I mean, you obviously won Prizefighter twice. Just moving on to your career as well, and the whole Prizefighter thing. Which you did win it twice. Am I right in saying that?
I won it. I nearly won it 3 times, but yeah, I won it twice. Yeah.
I think they actually bought it because it hasn't been done for a while, Prizefighter, and they bought it back a couple of months ago. They did a show, but it hasn't been done for a while. I personally love the concept. You're obviously used to professional fighting when you go into that tournament, and then all of a sudden you go into Prizefighter. It's more like amateur, but obviously, how many fights do you have in one night? Is it 3?
You got 3 fights in one night, yeah.
Just how hard was it, Michael? Did you find it hard? Did you like the setup of the 3 fights in one night, 3 rounds? How did you pace yourself differently to pro fights? What
I didn't find it hard, to be fair. I adjusted quite easily. I mean, Jim had a training program where he made us do like 3 rounds of shadow boxing, like 10-minute rest, 3 rounds on the bags, 10-minute rest, 3 rounds sparring, and then we done circuits. Even though I was a professional for so long, he couldn't move back to amateurs. I was quite a fit guy anyway, quite a fit, athletic guy. But as you said that to pace yourself, yeah, you got to pace yourself a bit, but it depends who you've got in the draw. So if you've got when I've been in Prizefighter, they've always given me the hardest draw. But it's not a bad thing because if you get the hardest right away, then the rest of it is quite simple. But yeah. If you got we had obviously I had was it US? It was England versus USA. I had the big American Ty Fields.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. When he was there, I thought about. I said to him, "You know what? I bet you the draw. I bet you I'll get Ty Fields. I bet against." And then they gave me Ty Fields. I thought I don't have to win that. And then I thought, well, I went to Australia, New Zealand. I thought Martin Rogan. Martin Rogan, and I don't know the head of the Prizefighter, but yeah, it depends who you've got. But yeah, just got to try and just be as fit as you can because you're gonna have a tough draw, you know. Sometimes.
I bet by that third fight in the final,
yeah,
you must be already pretty knackered going in, or do you find that if you're fit enough that you got enough recovery because it is 3 rounds, but not to be understated, 3 rounds is a lot tougher than it sounds. But do you sort of have that? If you're fit, are you able to sort of do that quite comfortably, or is it a real exhaustion in the third fight? Can you feel that on your legs and your arms?
Yeah. You can feel it a bit, but it depends on your fitness. You really got to train hard, and you got to just treat it like a championship fight, you know. But you get a 10-minute. It depends. You get a 10-minute rest, but sometimes you know, if they stop, if they stop, if the fight stopped, you could be in there quite quick than what it should be. But I find it right. I find it right. It's, you know, it depends who you've got anyway in the last draw.
Do you think it's something that they should bring back? Do you think I think it attract a lot of viewers. Do you think it's something that is worth bringing back and building again?
Listen, 1,000%. Prizefighter should be back because it's three fights one night. They're 3-round fights, 3 minutes, and people in the boxes go for it, and that's what the crowd like to see.
Yeah,
that's what the crowd like to see. Whenever there's Prizefighter, it was like a sellout, you know. So I do think it should come back, but I just think that I don't know since he bought Prizefighter and then Eddie Hill's got Joshua. It kind of like phased out anyway. So yeah, it's a shame. I think it should come back definitely.
I think it's brilliant. I'd love to see it back.
Yeah.
Just to sort of finish up, Mike, I wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of the young British heavyweights coming through, and also I had another question for you as a sort of general. I just wanted to ask you, who do you think, or it's a age-old debate, who is your number one heavyweight of all time in your opinion, or top three, if there's a few you can't pick from?
Well, number one for me is Muhammad Ali. Obviously, you know, he you know, they always say he done everything wrong, but he done, you know, he changed his style of boxing and he done really well. Also, I think Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, they're my top three.
Yeah.
Heavyweight fighters of all time.
Pretty strong. I'm with you as well. On Muhammad Ali, I personally think he's the number one for me as well. On the current heavyweight scene, we've seen some really exciting young British heavyweights coming through. Johnny Fisher, Moses Atama, probably two of the standouts. Have you seen much of them, and how good do you think those guys are? Do you think they can go all the way in the sport?
Yeah, look, you know, Johnny Fisher's, you know, he's a big, strong guy. You know, he's a big ticket seller, so he's a promoter's dream. He does really well. But he's still a bit to see of him yet. I feel. But the Moses, what's his name? Proper name? Moses. Yeah, he's definitely one for the future. Definitely one for the future. I mean, he's beaten some good names. I know they kind of like passed their best. Like the Polish guy he fought, but he's doing very well. He's doing very well. He's got fast stands and he's quick. He just explodes from nowhere. Bam! I rate him very good. But John Fisher is good. He's strong. But still want to see a bit more of him yet.
Michael Sprott, I'm sure we could sit here and talk about boxing all night, but I don't want to take up all of your evening. But it's been a real pleasure having you on the channel. Great to speak to you. I wanted to speak to you for a while, so thanks for taking the time to speak to Through the Ropes.
Listen, thank you for having me on your show, mate. Thank you.
Been a pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Michael.
All right.